ish. And then
I'm the center. Mwahahaha.
Alright. Host, take it away.
Oh my goodness.
Hey there, guys. How you doing today? The Oblivious Gamer here. I'm here with Redacted and Art Dog Designs. And welcome to the Procrastinators podcast, where we talk about random shit and somehow get away with it. So reason I'm the host, even though it's on Redacted's channel, is due to, I believe, episode 1. He had some technical difficulties.
Just like today.
And we just posted on yeah, that's just like today. We just ended up posting on my channel.
Redacted is just a technical difficulty in himself.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That's why I was born with the collapsed one.
Oh, same though.
Nice.
Heck yeah,
And
man.
I had asthma like 3 years after I was born. Well,
I got asthma. Get over it.
I just got
with stabling.
bronchitis.
Oh no.
And right off the bat, we're talking about lung difficulties in the middle of a pandemic. Great.
Yay, we're gonna die. Woohoo.
Yay! Just what I've been waiting for. Oh, there's an echo. That's why.
Yeah, because you probably have the sound on.
I didn't mute it.
Oh, we're all technical difficulties here.
Nobody was talking, and I heard noise, and it sounded like Chris, and it was really quiet, and I was very concerned.
Okay, then.
Alright, anyway, host, what are we doing?
So this week I figured we'd probably start off, since I recently just completed a RPG that was over 100 hours long. I figured, why not start off with talking about what some of my favorite RPG games were in the past few years.
D&D.
So,
Duh.
I mean,
Does
what's
D&D
that?
count as an RPG?
Technically, yes, actually. Really,
Haha.
no.
Boom. Perfect.
It's a tabletop RPG, but it's still an RPG.
It is the best game. Fight me.
I don't think anyone would.
You've never played water polo?
No, I have not.
That is true, we have not.
Never even heard of it. Please explain.
You've probably seen it been played if the Olympics has ever just been left on. But basically,
don't watch TV.
I get that. I'm signing into my Twitch right now, by the way, so if I'm talking weird, that's why. Alright, I'm gonna put that down for a sec. Basically, water polo is, I played this for a little bit. It's in the pool. Why is my screen flashing? Please stop doing that. What's going on here? I don't get this. Hold on. Am I on performance or am I on battery mode? I'm on performance mode. This is weird then. Okay. If it keeps flashing in slideshow, I think I'm gonna change something else. Okay, it's still flashing.
I think it's because it's in slideshow mode.
It adds cool effect.
Edit or create.
You know, you can just directly have it capture the image without being in a full screen mode, right?
You know what? I'm stupid though is the thing. So
how do you think my starting screen is set up?
No, how do we?
That's what I'm gonna figure out for you. So if you go to the in sources, if you click the plus, live editing, folks.
Let's go.
Click on image, add source. If you don't have,
guess who doesn't have that option? And guess who already ruined Art's image? Okay, we're just gonna hit that.
How dare you?
And
horrible person. How could you? I work so hard on this.
Documents. We're gonna search for.
Why is everything fucked up?
Here,
What
I
the
have
hell?
A
I don't know,
zoom
man.
in on the dog.
No, all of my scenes are suddenly not working, not set up properly, and I don't know why.
We can show the screenshot here anyway. We can just show a different screenshot of when I put ship redacted and Day Oblivious Gamer into a shipping bot. And it said we had 78% compatibility.
I mean, to be fair, we do talk a lot.
Right now. It is showing right now, Art. It is showing. You can go look at stream and see it.
I'm actually surprised you
My
screenshot
stream is
that.
lagging.
I did because I sent it to you. I screenshot it just to send it.
I don't remember you sending it to me. I remember seeing it in the bot channel, but I don't remember you sending it to
Oh,
me.
maybe I pinged you then or something.
It pings
did.
me anyway whenever you do something like that.
I ship it.
Oh, why isn't it? There we go.
It's
Hey,
so
Nightblade, how you
cute.
doing?
There we go. We're just gonna leave it like this. You're gonna see my whole dashboard and everything. And I'm just gonna see that one Discord notification. I'm not gonna answer it or do anything with it. We're just gonna. I'm gonna learn all this off stream. I suck at this, but you know what? That's why I have the chaotic part of the banner.
Yeah, that's why you're the glitch.
Yeah, you're the glitched one.
It fits. It fits.
Good, how are
And
you?
that is why
I'm doing good.
facepalming like I am right
I don't
now.
know how Redacted and Art are doing, but
Now we
I'm doing
just
good.
need Chris to fall again.
I mean, I'll probably fall at some point. Let's be honest here.
Do it.
It won't be falling out of my chair now. It'll be falling just because I'm standing.
Dude, I could totally go over there and push him over.
I'm not standing right now.
Oh, well, heck.
I'm only standing whenever I have face cam on, and we don't have face cam on right now.
Nightblade, we're doing great.
Anyway, so
He's never been more correct.
we haven't even gone through the topics yet, and we literally just started.
Yeah.
So, what's some of your favorite RPGs to play in general?
Skyrim.
D&D.
So the most generic answer. Thank you very much, Redacted.
Yeah, I know. I grew up
And
with
this
it.
is
I've
why I
told
know
you
your
guys
favorite
about
game.
this.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think most people honestly have grown up with it.
I think my second favorite though would probably be Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Even though that's not that good of an RPG, all the other aspects of that game I like enough to make up for that fact. So it's not a good RPG. In fact, I think it almost borderline on the idea of not being an RPG. But it's like, since it's advertised as, I'm gonna say it like that. But otherwise, I don't know the other RPGs I've ever played. So yeah.
I would say that my second one would be Pokemon, and that's just because I grew up playing it.
Yeah, I guess that would be an RPG, wouldn't it?
Pokemon actually is, yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon Ultra Sun is my second favorite then.
Ooh, the third Rangers for me. The third Pokemon Rangers.
Oh, Guardian Science.
And Silver, but that's only because I have for Alligator.
Soul Silver is because you have for Alligator, yeah.
I'm OP.
Is that the one where you're able to like have them out of their Pokeballs walking with you?
Yes.
I always missed when they took out the mechanic.
They actually added it back in the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLCs.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it's only in the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra that you can do this, but they still have it in those DLCs.
I really wish too they'd release Pokemon on like the Xbox or something, man. That'd be so much fun. I know it's not I know it's not like a game made for an Xbox or a PS5 or anything like that, but I would still play it. And
that would be cool.
Yeah,
it would be.
I was like,
Persona going into Nintendo consoles now, so and also on Steam as well.
Yeah. I've just like always disliked console exclusivity, and I really haven't gotten it. Like, how much more money could your company make if you just made these games universal? Like, do you know how much like Microsoft would make if they put Halo on the PlayStation, or if PlayStation put or if what's a good if PlayStation put Spider-Man on Xbox? Oh my god, man! The amount of money they could have made if they did that.
That's true.
It's a sad day when that can't happen.
Flash cry.
Yeah.
Oh, Gwen's here.
Gwen!
Hey, humans.
I thought you were washing your hair, man. You know.
God of War on Xbox.
Too busy to hang
that'd
out
be
with us.
interesting.
I've never played God of War, but I didn't know it was an RPG.
I mean, technically speaking, it is. I think the most recent games, like last two games would be more of an RPG than the first two. But yeah,
Can
so,
I
John,
can I flip
go for
this
it.
and say what's the most favorite game? What's your guys' favorite game where it's the exact opposite of an RPG? Which I don't know what the word for that is, but a game where you're not allowed to make any decisions. You just play through and you just go to the end.
Oh, are you talking about like a visual novel? That's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah, I can't think of like the
Wait.
exact word for it, but just like a game where in the campaign or in the story mode you have absolutely no decisions, and what like the next level is, or what you're gonna do next. You have to go to that next level, that next part of the storyline. Um, and there's
Um,
if there's a game where it's like open world and you can like level up and stuff, and like you don't do the next mission purely to like go grind some or kill enemies to get levels like that, I would still count that as an like what I'm talking about. Because I'm just talking about like you don't have any decisions in what's gonna
so
happen
it's
in
like
the
a story
storyline.
game, but not exactly an RPG.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
like Zelda, maybe? Would that count as one or no?
Breath of the Wild has recently kind of breaks that formula.
Yeah, I thought Breath of the Wild was an RPG, they said. Or like similar
It's
to.
an open world RPG almost,
Okay.
but it's got different mechanics than Zelda's ever had.
Holy cheese.
And what on-rail game story? I mean, that's fair assessment as well.
Mhm.
I'm looking through my Steam library to see if I got something like that.
Look, man, all I play are multiplayer games now, so I don't know.
I mean, fair.
Okay, then what's your favorite multiplayer game? Let's flip it to that then. Let's keep, that's the point of podcasts are, is you keep talking instead of ending the
All right,
conversation.
fine. Shut
You
up.
know, in
Fine.
improv, the
What?
number one rule is never say no, or if you're gonna, you better like be careful with it.
You're a DM. You should know this.
I'm gonna hurt you both.
Joke's on you, I'm into that.
I know you are because you're into everything. All right.
Yeah.
How far into that are we gonna go?
Except dairy. Not into dairy. Not into that.
Not into dairy.
You must force Chris to get it. Yes, and you all have issues. That's true. We all do
Thank
have
you,
issues.
Glenn. I appreciate that
I
last
have,
statement.
I have many issues, yeah.
We all have many issues.
Yeah, thanks.
For,
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
For
We've gone down
multiplayer-
that road.
honestly. But for like multiplayer games, I would say currently my favorite is Phasmophobia and Among Us.
Mm.
Like tied.
Yes.
I don't maybe, I think. Pummel Party looks like fun though.
Mm-hmm. I think my favorite multiplayer. I just haven't done with multiplayers, but I think I really like Anthem. And I know a lot of people don't like it, and really the multiplayer isn't that good in that game. But again, it's just one of those. It's just one of the few multiplayer games I have played, and I think it's got really good graphics. The only time the game sucks is when you're playing with a buttload of people in one party, and I haven't played it in a while, so I'd have to hop back on and see if that's still true. But
It's
I
always the bedroom ghost.
what?
What?
It's always the bedroom ghost.
The active mic is bugging out.
Oh.
Do you have your sensitivity set high enough in Streamlabs?
Um,
That's the only thing I can think of.
Let me set the sensitivity a little bit higher. Maybe I'm just talking softly. I don't know. I'll try talking more loudly. Is that
Yeah.
Chat? Chat, is that helping? Chat? Should I start singing "Drop 'Em Out"? Maybe that'll help.
God, I hate you.
It's like a loud, and then you suddenly switch.
It's like you're okay. Oh, it's loud
So
and
it's
stuff.
hard to hear.
Okay, that's my. I think that might be my mic's problems. I'm asking for a new mic for Christmas. So it's this one's having issues. I've had this one for like this. It's a headset. I've had this headset for like 3 years.
You okay now?
Yeah,
I hadn't even noticed that it was acting like that though.
Oh,
Funny thing.
okay. I turned the sensitivity up on OBS, so hopefully that helps. Yeah, I've had this mic for like 3 years, and it has a mute function where you just like flick it up and it mutes, and that's not working anymore. Um, That actually stopped
Oh,
working.
you've had a good 70 years then.
Yeah. So it's yeah. Remember when I found that out when we were playing Among Us one night. I because there's some points when I first got Among Us, it worked fine, and then at some point I would flick it up and I'd be talking, and then like I outed myself as imposter because the mute function just wasn't working anymore, and so that's why I had to start
Yikes.
using. I wasn't using push to talk in the beginning. I was usually just flicking it up, and that was it. And that's why I have to use push to talk now. So yeah.
See, I just have a keybind to mute my mic anytime when between rounds.
Yeah. I don't think push to talk is that bad either.
To each their own. I just have a bad experience with push to talk. I'll be honest. That's the only reason I don't use it.
What did push to talk do to ruin your experience with it? Chris, what exactly did you mess up with push to talk that gave you a bad experience with it?
Okay.
It's
so
literally
not
pushing a button to talk.
Itself that did it. It's not push to talk itself that did it. It's toxic friends at the time that happened to cause it. So what would happen is, whenever I think it was like 5 years ago, our dog and I would be sitting in the dining room whenever we were playing our games and talking with friends online.
Yeah.
This is back before we got desks and all that in our own rooms. And we also still had our birds. I don't know if we had the one or if we still had others before they passed. But what ended up happening is they just got annoyed with the bird being on the background, and they wanted me to set push to talk. I wouldn't, because I knew at the time I was just gonna have issues with it. Plus, if I'm in the middle of a game, it's hard for me to move my hand off my mouse just long enough to tap it, say something, and then go back to my mouse, especially with games like Brawlhalla where it's fast paced and you can't just stop at all without dying.
Yeah.
So they would always server mute me every single time that they just got annoyed with the bird being on the background.
What's wrong with the bird, man?
So I did have to set push talk every once in a while just to make them happy. But I never truly liked push to talk, and it just kind of gave me a bad experience with it.
Yeah, that's understandable then.
Everybody that I know loves the bird in the background. They find it hilarious.
I know. Everyone else I've met since then has always loved the bird. It's just that group of friends that was that stupid enough to think that having a bird on the background was annoying.
God.
From what I understand, though, at least a couple of the people that were in that group are less toxic now than they were before. Because one of my friends who actually wasn't toxic but still within that group has talked to them recently, and from what I understand from them, they aren't as toxic, but some are still pretty freaking toxic, and I don't talk to them at all.
Maybe we should segue to toxic gamer stories.
Oh god, I've got plenty of those from Brawlhalla.
I've got a bad one about, my worst one is about Minecraft, which I've probably told this story before.
Tell it again.
Do tell for the viewers.
Okay, so basically all my friends, in high school I did swimming, and so I'd wake up at 4:30, whatever, go to school, get home around 6, and usually do homework till midnight. Some nights when I didn't have homework, I'd play video games. And there was one Thursday night I decided to hop on Minecraft. And, my friends were at work, doing their stuff, making money. Good for them. I didn't have a job because I was already getting 4.5 hours of sleep every night. No way that was going to happen for me. So I was playing Minecraft, and they're all off, so I go into the, Minecraft club that Xbox has. Like, Xbox has club server game. You can join them, find people to play with, yada, yada, yada. It's not that hard to understand. Well, I used that group finding function, and I found a group to play with. And in the group, there was a girl. I'm not going to say her real name, but for the sake of this, I'll call her Kim. And so Kim was... What?
Kim Kardashian.
Sure, why not? So I was playing with Kim Kardashian, and, Kim was, she was Welsh. No, sorry, Irish. She was Irish, and, cool, whatever. You're from the UK. Let's play Minecraft, whatever. And she was actually she found the same group I joined, so we didn't like know each other before. We just both got invited to the same group, so we joined. Whatever. Well, the guy who owned the group, he was really cool, and so I played with them all for one night, and it was really fun. So the next night I joined them again, and that night Kim was doing everything, and so it was her world. And the way we're doing it was we're going to start in creative mode, all build our own houses, and then go to survival. I thought it was really weird. I did that a couple times with Minecraft, but I always hated it. But I just thought, I'll give it a try again, whatever. And she has rules of this. Her one rule is no redstone. Well, anyone who knows me knows that I love redstone, and
Sounds amazing.
it is.
Sounds fun to use sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm too good. Like, I am just also good at redstone. I'm good at making a lot of different automated farms, specifically. And so I said, okay, I won't do anything like that. And I started making a fireworks machine. And I used TNT, and I was going to shoot TNT up and make big explosions. And she said, no, that's bad. No TNT in the world, none of this. So I said, okay. So I started making an automatic chicken farm. She said, you can't do that. We already have a chicken farm over there. Whatever. And when the guy left, I basically was like smack talking and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a real TNT cannon, I'll just blow up your house. And I was just joking, and I was in my house doing some like interior decorating stuff, making my bed look nice, putting slabs and fences around it to make it look like a real intricate bed, whatever. And right when I walk outside to do something to the outside of the little mini castle I was making, I see her putting TNT all over it and blowing it up. And yeah, and I basically just said, why are you doing this? You're the one who said TNT was going to kill the mood. What the heck is this? And she said, you're being such a hypocrite. You're being so salty. And basically for 40 minutes, she screamed, virgin, sticky, white, crusty boxers, a bunch of other stuff. And she did that for like 20 minutes straight. And the whole time she was calling me mostly salty. And at one point I just went, if I'm so salty, why am I the one quiet right now and you're the one yelling to me about destroying my house for no reason? And she just started screaming it even louder. And I should have just muted her and just vibed, but I didn't. And I just stayed on. And then the other guy got back on, and then they kicked me out of the group. And then a few months later, the guy came back and said, wow, this girl is actually really, really stupid. And I said, yeah, great. I'm not playing with you guys. I don't really care. Like, when you let the crazy girl play with you over the guy who's just trying to vibe. And I mean, I told them what was happening too, but they just didn't believe me. And yeah, I said, I'll keep you my friends list and I'll maybe play games in the future with you guys, but I doubt I will because that was such a stupid situation. On top of the fact, like, you're gonna believe the girl who's screaming and freaking out about everything over the guy who's just trying to have fun. So yeah, it's my most toxic experience was in Minecraft, which I guess not my most toxic experience, but experience with a toxic person. That was really that bad. She was, in Minecraft of all games too, not like Call of Duty or League of Legends or an actual competitive game. Minecraft creative mode. Creative mode. Yeah.
Creative mode?
Yeah. She started at random points taking my permission to build away and putting like me in survival mode and killing me while she was in creative. And it's like, okay, what is this? I don't care about that. And it was just.
Jeez. I don't think I've had an experience quite like that.
Yeah,
I don't think many people do. I don't think many people have been yelled at by an Irish girl. Oh yeah, and so to get back at her because before the guy got back on, when they just started like not believing me, they still let me stay on. So when they did that, I just looked up a list of top like 20 things not to say to an Irish person, and I just found it on BuzzFeed, and I just went down the list with her, and yeah,
That's one way to get revenge.
that was a fun like 5 minutes right there before they kicked me out of the group. It's like okay, because like after that too, when they got back, we went to a new world. We left the road we were in. We went to a super flat, and I started doing my own redstone stuff there. And then she'd just come over and break the redstone, and I'd just be like, okay, and I'd just fly to a different spot, restart it. She'd do it again. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna start going down the list now. Like this is. You're gonna call me salty, and then you're gonna carry over the issue into another world after you said you'd agree to drop it. I'm done with this. I'm gonna mess with you now. I don't care. And yeah, that's the official end of the Toxic Irish Girl.
Nice.
That's certainly an experience I don't have anything compared to.
I'd be surprised if you did. I really would.
Closest thing I've got is there's a guy in Among Us server that I play Among Us on a lot of times. It's 18 plus, and whenever he's imposter and I actually catch him as imposter, you know how XQC acts whenever he gets caught as imposter?
Oh my god, yeah, he got kicked off Twitch for it, I think, or banned.
Right. Oh no, he acts kind of similarly to that. It's not quite to the same extent, because if he's caught and he actually gets voted off, then he's not acting toxic about it afterwards. But during the time, most of the time he is.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm accusing him and he's actually been in an area that coincides with literally every murder. So yeah, that's about the closest thing I've got. When he's not an imposter and he's an actual crewmate, he acts nothing like XQC when he's a crewmate.
Yeah.
But when he's an imposter and he's actually called out, that's when he does go into it, but it's not as bad as XQC is.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw one clip of XQC screaming about Among Us, and I just stopped watching any of his Among Us stuff, because if you're gonna scream about a murder mystery game and take it that seriously when you lose, you have issues, man. Like,
you are a problem child.
Yeah.
Anytime I see that XQC is part of any videos I'm watching, it's like, okay, I can't watch this. I'm not gonna be able to get past him.
Yeah. I think he apologized for it, but then he started saying he was gonna like try and do it less, and then he started doing it like right away, which is expected.
Yeah, if I ever play with him, I don't care if it's in front of everyone. I'll just kill him every single time first, just because.
Yeah.
Don't be toxic, bro.
Yeah, don't be toxic back. That just makes it worse, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the funny thing is, I've tried not being toxic back before. It just goes back to the toxic friends I had. It didn't work, so I gave up on that for a while.
Yeah. After you look up a list of top 20 things not to do to them.
See, after a while, I did walk away.
Yeah.
But until then,
understandable. I haven't had a toxic experience in a while, though, but that's because I'm really into single-player games right now. Mainly because that's, like, the only thing my computer can run. That and, like...
you watch what my streams have been recently, it's just all single-player.
Yeah.
Ultimate recently.
And, I mean, those are the games that are, in terms of, like, video games, those are the ones that are becoming popular right now. You know?
That's true.
It's... Unless it's, like, a Battle Royale game, which I'm really done with this Battle Royale phase. I really want a new type of multiplayer to come in this... Battle Royales are great and all, but I want something new to multiplayer. Like, I want Battle Royales to stay and to, like, keep their format, but I want a new format. Because, everything is just Battle Royale right now, and it kind of is, like, a little blandish. But,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I'm really... But other than that, like, the world of video games is very single-player right now. I mean, look at the two most... popular games that are out right now. It's Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Spider-Man Miles Morales. For the most part, those are the two most popular games that are out right now. And I don't think there's any multiplayer version in either of them. And that's because video games are very people didn't like doing storylines a couple years ago, and now people do. And so it's almost like the game itself is the story and stuff. And now games are implementing the new Game Plus feature, and some of them, which is really nice.
I mean, to be fair, it does
Yeah.
kind of help that most people actually now have more time due to COVID, so they actually
Yes.
can complete most of the single player games.
Yes.
Out there.
Yeah. The only the only game with a new Game Plus that I don't really like is Jedi Fallen Order, because the new Game Plus is stupid.
Fair.
Because basically all it is you keep all your clothing customizations, and that's it. I'm pretty sure you.
That's not even New Game Plus at that point.
No, I'm pretty sure you gotta unlock all the force powers. You gotta unlock all the skill there's force powers, and there's a skill tree to like do moves with the force powers. I'm pretty sure your skill tree resets and your force powers, which I get the force powers because you actually like part of the campaign is you're disconnected from the force, so you gotta reconnect with it. So I get the force powers, but I don't get the skill tree. And maybe they updated that and they changed that, because I haven't checked out the new Game Plus on Fallen Order in a while, so I could be wrong about that now. Maybe they have changed it. But I remember when I looked into it, I did it, and then my skill tree and my force powers were all gone. And yeah, which again, I get the force powers. I don't understand the skill tree. That baffled me. And then the other game which has a new Game Plus that I don't like is Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2. Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2 has a new Game Plus feature where basically so throughout that game it's a very similar thing where you unlock a skill tree and you unlock you can level up your powers, and your powers max out at level 3. In order to max out the powers, you have to use each power and each skill from each power a certain amount of times to level up. So it is a lot harder than it sounds. But then the only thing that carries over is your cash. It's your money amount. And then it resets all your abilities. So you gotta rebuy all of them with the money you just got back. And then you gotta re-upgrade them with the money it gives you back. And then you have to basically it's just a weird way to do it, I guess. I don't know. But at the same time, that's a very like small game that not many people play, and it's also I think one of the games that first popped up when New Game Plus became a feature. So yeah.
Can I just say something really fast?
Sure.
That I find hilarious?
Sure.
So, Crackhead, when was the last time you streamed?
Fat minute, because I'm in streaming. All I have is like a laptop stream right now, and it has integrated graphics, so I can't really play any games on it or stream anything on it. Why? Is my channel completely empty? Is that what you're gonna point out right now?
No, you have more viewers in this podcast than me and Chris did in the other ones. And you haven't streamed in forever.
I did. You know what? I will say, although I didn't get much average viewers in my streams when I started out, when I started getting more followers, I noticed that more people liked to come back and watch it. So maybe there's a couple people in there that like to come back and watch.
Maybe. Well, you've only got 5 followers right now. You have to keep that in mind too.
Oh, really? Okay, then a lot of them unfollowed. But before I stopped, I had about 40 or 50.
Oh dang.
Yeah, and yeah, I almost did affiliate. And now they're all gone. But maybe one of those 5 guys who, likes those streams is, or maybe 1 or 2 of them is back, because I noticed that there'd be 1 or 2 that would always watch the stream. What just happened? That was very loud.
All 5 back.
Yeah. I just had a big ring noise, though, is the thing. So I think that's a that's a notification for something. Oh, hey, that would make sense. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, usually I see those notifications in chat, so it's gonna, and I usually have chat pulled up on my phone because I have the stream pulled up on my phone, so I'm not gonna see that notification for a little bit. That's fine though.
Thanks for whatever just happened.
Yeah, thanks for following or doing whatever you just did. It really scared me because it's kind of loud. I gotta lower the volume on those notifications. Before I go deaf.
I'm like taking up the entire screen when I stream, so if you follow, everyone sees it. It does not get missed, and it is loud.
Nice.
Mine's usually just off in the corner somewhere. It's not
See,
obstructing
but
gameplay, but it's also somewhere we can still see it.
Ah, nice.
Boring.
You know, speaking of gameplay, Chris, have you gotten Steam downloaded so you could test out gameplay on that new NVIDIA RTX 3070?
Was I
Or
playing
sorry,
Among Us last night?
NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. I know, but I mean like a real game, not a game that can run perfectly fine on 100 ping, a tenth of a gigabyte of RAM. You
Fair
know,
enough. Yeah, 100.
an actual demanding game, basically.
No, I have not downloaded any actual Manning games. I'll probably download like Resident Evil 7 and use that to see how it goes.
Yeah, that one you should download a few. Like you can find some good free ones to do that with, like Call of Duty Warzone. Even if you're terrible at that, that has some good.
I have GTA 5 as well. I could use.
That'd be a good one too. Yes, I've never played that one.
I bought it like I think I bought it before quarantine. I just haven't played it at all. I think I bought it for the online and just never played it.
I remember when I was a kid, I asked for it because all my friends had it and they were playing it a lot, and then I was the only one who didn't have it. And my mom was like, "No way, you're not getting that." And I was like, "What the heck?" And she was like, "I don't want to expose you to that stuff." And I guess she didn't know that I watched all 3 movies in the Death Race franchise by the time I was in 4th grade, which is just a really bloody, gory, and revealing movie series. And let's leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Yeah. All 3 on Netflix. All 3 on Netflix.
I've watched High School DxD. I think the first 2 seasons, so I can't say much.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I watched it on YouTube. Which surprisingly, it wasn't as censored as it later became, and not because of YouTube. It became censored because of other reasons.
Karens.
Weirdly enough, I don't think that's the reason. I don't remember. I think it's because it was becoming more mainstream, so the creators wanted to actually have it.
Be a little bit more family friendly.
Okay. Yeah, even though literally the entire thing, weirdly enough, is an ecchi anime, but it actually has a story.
Yes.
An actually good story.
Sort of like Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but without.
Except,
but
not that mainstream.
Instead of.
Yeah. I've only ever watched one anime that ever had nudity, and that was the Castlevania anime on Netflix. And
I've only seen episode 1 of that.
I'm for that crap.
It gets really good. I feel like Art just has a porn addiction.
A what?
Definitely, man.
Yeah, I think the worst anime Dog has actually watched, the closest thing to be like the worst ever is like Fairy Tail.
Hey, I watched the first episode of Attack on Titan.
Or if you like Fairy Tail, you'd love 7 Deadly Sins.
Dude, I do love 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh, it's so funny.
That would actually be the worst.
I've only seen the first season, but so funny.
Whenever people ask me like what 7 Deadly Sins is like, say I have friends who know I watch anime and they know I'm a fan of that one. I always say that it's the Family Guy of animes. It's that one super inappropriate, but in such a funny way. The only difference is it actually has a storyline.
And they pull it off.
They really do. Joke. I'm not gonna lie, like I saw the first episode of the show and I was like, what is this like like just really like cause he like the main character actually like full on fondles this girl's tit, and he goes and she wakes up while he's doing it and she's like and he goes, I was checking your heart rate, you're all healthy. And she just goes with it, and it instantly reminded me of like all the memes and jokes about like the just like plot lines of pornos. Of like where it's like, oh, you got stuck in a laundry machine, let me just do this. And just the ridiculousness of everything. Like the memes about all that.
People aren't trying to call out the 7 deadly sins, to be honest with all that shit.
It's because there's character development in like end of season 1, early season 2 that makes you realize why the main character is the way he is.
I don't think I've seen that far.
Yeah.
I know I'm not nearly as far as our dog is. So.
I don't know why I watched that far. I really like after the first episode, I was like, I'll try it. I'll try another couple episodes, and then by the 3rd episode, I think they're just some really cool animated scene. Like, you know how every anime has that one scene where it's just it looks amazing. It had that scene around like episode 2 or 3. He like catches a spear and then he throws it back.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah. And I saw that and I was like, okay, it's turned into a shonen or whatever it's called. Let's do it.
Like he's just kind of standing there listening to whatever her name is talk, and then he's like,
Elizabeth.
Okay, yeah. Right, thanks. And like, okay, I'm just gonna catch this spear real quick and get sent back flying. Who knows how far?
Well, she's like talking about it, and he like his ears perk up as she's talking to him, and he sort of like gets up and walks around, and he's like, huh, maybe here? No, a little bit farther back.
Yeah.
Okay, right here. And then she goes, so how do you feel about that? And he goes, wait, what did you say? And then like all of a sudden the spear is just there. Yeah, and then he's just gone. And she's like, are you okay?
Another anime that can actually be compared to Family Guy in a sense is Gintama.
I haven't heard of that one.
How?
Okay. I don't know.
Look up the synopsis of it real quick.
Okay. One thing I hate about I think one of my least favorite things about the anime world right now is Netflix and how they're releasing like 1 or 2 seasons of animes that they buy the rights to and then they just stop because it's not lucrative anymore. And it's like, oh, what the hell? Like, how much money has Netflix probably wasted doing that by now? It has
way too much.
It has to be in like the very high millions or low billions at this point. It has to be, because not only would they have like gone through production or paid for animations, they also would have had to buy rights. They would have had to hire voice actors. They would have had to hire voice actors in multiple languages because they dub things in multiple languages. And then they're gonna have to like, rent out equipment or rent out studios or, pay for upkeep on studios like that. The amount of money they've lost because they're just like giving up on all of it is, I can't even imagine how high that would be, how high of a number. Because they've done it like, no exaggeration, at least a dozen times now. They have to have.
I know Pokemon's on Netflix now, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, but Netflix didn't like buy the rights to it. Like Netflix has the right to some, like owns the rights to some like anime shows, and they just don't make them. Like, let me look. Like, I'm pretty sure. Let me look up this because if loading.
Well, go ahead and kind of read out the Gintama synopsis.
So,
is it a manga? I think it is.
I'm the stupidest person on the planet.
Well, that's nothing new.
I went and put sculptures in the oven to bake 2 hours ago, and they're only supposed to sit there for half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are they just charcoal now, basically?
Oh no, they're fine. I'm so surprised. I don't know if they're gonna crack now because they've been in there so long.
Good job.
I'm such an idiot.
So, quick question.
Go ahead.
Redactive, what do you think Gintama's genre would be?
Steamy, the way you're talking about it.
Steamy?
Spicy.
I mean, to a point, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So it's an adventure, comedy, and science fiction.
Oh, okay.
And if you watch like the first 5 minutes of episode 1, you'll see why. Set it's set in the Edo period, so there's that. In a world that's been conquered by aliens named Amanto. I
Mhm.
think that's how it's pronounced. Plot follows life from the point of view of Samurai Intoki Sakata, who works as a freelancer alongside his friends Shinpachi Shimura and Kagura in order to pay the monthly rent. It's literally just kind of the daily lives going about doing random BS,
This
and it's
gives me
just
like
chaos.
the way you're describing it. This gives me the It gives me inappropriate One Punch Man vibes. Um.
Okay, so it's actually not that inappropriate
Okay.
most of the time.
Okay.
There's probably times here and there.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there's actually one scene
Mhm.
where it's like two of the characters just break like dislocate the elbows.
Mhm.
And like I just broke my arm, so I can't make it to this so and so's funeral or so and so's wedding. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but that's just to give you an idea of the kind of comedy it is.
Yeah. Okay, I just looked it up. There's an anime called Sirius the Jaeger on Netflix. And if you ever look this up, it's only got maybe like 2 or 3 seasons because they really rushed it all. They put, I don't know how much chapters are in the manga, but I think they just go through the manga material so fast that they either ended at season 2 or 3, or they go through the manga so slowly that fans hate it, and then they, see, oh, bad reviews, let's stop it because it's not as good as Stranger Things or something like that. But I just looked it up, and so yeah, Sirius the Jaeger on Netflix, really good anime. At least in my opinion, I liked it. Actually, I wouldn't say it's really good. It sort of goes downhill a little bit in the last couple seasons. But in the very first episode, the animation just looks amazing. The main character has this really cool fight scene where he just kills a whole room of people. Um, Whatever, great. And it has so much potential. Just the art of it, the plot of it, the characters are introduced perfectly, pretty much. The intro to the whole show is as good as it gets for animes. And they just stopped making it.
Jeez.
And I
There's
don't
so
get
many
it.
anime that get that treatment, and it's so sad when they get that treatment. Stuff like
Yeah.
that, like No Game No Life. I think was kind of in a similar state for a long time. Because they only had one season for was it about a decade before I think they announced a movie for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I think it's got a second season coming out at some point. I don't know for sure on that one.
Yeah, I think too somewhere in like the general description of Sirius the Jaeger on Netflix. I swear in the general description of the whole show when you find it. I can't find it right now. I'm trying to look for it. Another thing too, it says the main character is a werewolf, and the enemies of the show are vampires. That's a pretty common fight, whatever, for like Hollywood and anime in general. Vampires and werewolves, pretty popular myth.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him get like power boosts and activating his powers, but one thing that really like triggers me is the vampires can transform into like beasts, and he doesn't have a transformation of any kind other than his eyes glow and he has powers. And I really wish in the show, and I think there's probably in other animes, they don't go through a character's whole powers. Like if he's a werewolf, and maybe I'm wrong about that, but assume that is the case. If he's a werewolf, why doesn't he like have a werewolf like form or transformation? Why are they just wasting that? Or in the manga, is it just weirder, or explain what his powers are more? Because throughout the whole anime, all you know is that he just gets a power boost at some points, and that's it. And you don't know why. You never learn the case. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah. I think one big problem in animes these days is some stuff just gets a lot of filler episodes because they try and invest time into how powers work or what they can do, and they invest so much time. Like I think that happened with season 1 of Naruto Shippuden. There'd be some fights that lasted 15 seconds, but they'd stretch it out into 3 episodes, and you just didn't need that much time to explain a situation. You just didn't. And
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
And I feel like
but sometimes you can't take too short amount of time either, because funny enough, Sword Art Online, I know a lot of people don't like that anime. I'm going to talk about it here for just a second.
Yeah.
It didn't have much content in the first place, and then they shrunk that content down a little more with the first half of season 1 as well.
I would have really loved to seen 4 seasons of 25 episodes where each episode they fight a new floor boss. Or
well, the thing is, they couldn't do that at the time because the only information they had was a bit of floor 1, 74 and 75, and that's it.
Well, the manga writer went from floor 1 to 74 and 75.
Well, it's not a manga; it's a light novel, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think light novel. I have the first 2 light novels in here, actually. So, the first light novel takes place with a bit of a recollection into the first floor boss and what happened there. And then it jumps back up to floors 74 and 75 and tells it from that point on.
Yeah.
Book 2 does go over some adventures that take place during the time of Aincrad, but it's only kind of hit and miss here and there, like Silica, Elizabeth, a couple other things here and there, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they didn't have much content to work with in the first place. And now with SEO Progressive, they've got, I think, up to 6 floors currently.
Yeah.
So they do have what they can do with that now.
But they still could have done a little bit more, you know?
Like
if like 4 seasons of 25 episodes, that's an ideal situation, obviously. But 1 season of like 20 episodes of all 100 floors, or not all 100, but like to the end of the game in this case, they could have done a little bit more.
Yeah. But with what they had to work with, and I've read the light novels, I can say this. There's only 1 or 2 like small little details that they cut out, and otherwise what you see in there is what was basically in the book.
Yeah. That's understandable. I don't really see a lot of animes that cut out a lot of the manga, though. Just because there's... I don't know. I haven't seen it...
I can't think of any offhand, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen any... I should rephrase that. I haven't seen any that cut out a significant amount. Because just the way animes based off of mangas work is... I mean, mangas themselves are already comics. And so if you're following that whole storyline and leaving in the little details, I mean, some of what's in those comics is filler, you know? And so you don't... So it's a lot easier, I think, for mangas to be adapted than it is for books to be adapted. The only book I've ever seen adapted into a good movie, where the movie really did the books justice, was The Hobbit. And that's only because The Hobbit was stretched across 3 movies. And no movie company is gonna do that with any book, because that would be so much money. Like, I would love Aragon to be done like that. Either Aragon be done like a show where it's like... I want to see books done like Game of Thrones where each season is a book. Or I want to see books adapted into movies and like multiple movies per book. Because that's the only way you're going to adapt a book into like a good anything. Because 2 hours...
Each book, from what I understand, is going to be adapted into a movie. So that's what you're describing is what Sword Art Online is going to become soon.
Oh, nice. I hope that ends out well. And instead of ruining one of my favorite animes.
I hope that a lot of people that hate Sword Art Online, just because it's a meme, actually watch it and get to see it for what it actually is.
You know, I actually have a lot of friends who don't like Sword Art Online, and they all liked Alicization. And so I think Alicization is kind of turning that opinion around.
Alicization has started turning that opinion around, but some people still don't like it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that Sword Art Online, the first season, it's good because it's showing the struggles.
Yeah.
within that game. But after that, it's pretty much all, for the most part, them getting over the PTSD from being in a death game.
Yeah. Well, except for what is it? Aincrad? No, Alfheim Online, or whatever it's called.
Well, Alfheim Online, I'll be honest, that one could have been done significantly different and still been fine.
Yeah. I didn't get this. Yeah. I didn't get the softcore tentacle hentai scene. I didn't like that. I didn't get the point of that.
I didn't get the point of that one either. It was
just
dumb.
But for those of you that don't know, in that season, there's a scene where she walks in on scientists performing experience in the game, and the scientists are in avatars that are like giant blobs with tentacles, so they can like control multiple computer screens in the game at the same time, of like control more information at the same time with multiple like limbs, and it's just like, if they have like the game commands to do that, why don't they just stay in human form and control the monitors like that anyway? Why do they have? It would have made so much more sense. It would have been so much less weird. Like, there's some animes that have weird factors, but they're funny or they work with it. And there's some that just don't.
That was just creepy.
Yeah. Not even creepy, just disturbing. Like, I would be more fine with creepy than disturbing. Creepy is scary and gets my heart rate going. Disturbing makes me cringe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And season 2 honestly didn't help Sword Art Online's case too much for most fans.
No. Season 2 was...
Yeah.
Season 2 was bad.
The last quarter was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I liked Gun Gale Online, though. I liked that season a lot. I thought the only thing bad about that season was the fact that he goes the whole season still using basically a sword instead of a gun to fight people. I didn't like that.
Go the whole time doing that, but he did use the sword more times than using the gun. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, which is just...
Why though?
Because he's the sword character, so he should wield a sword. It is dumb. It is dumb. In a gun, it's number 1 rule of gunfights: don't bring knives to them. It's...
And then you got Kirito, who brings a lightsaber to the gunfight.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Technically speaking, the way that the seasons in Sword Art Online work is Season 1 is Sword Art Online and Alfheim Online. Season 2 is Gun Gale, and then 2 other arcs within Alfheim, which are smaller. There's also the Sword Art Online Extra Edition, which has a very small arc in it. It's mostly just them retelling Sword Art Online and then going into the small arc. And then Alicization has been split into 2 seasons.
Has season 2 of Alicization come out yet? Or Alicization, however you pronounce it?
Alicization is how I've been pronouncing it. Yeah, it's War for the Underworld's been out for a while.
Okay.
I watched it as it was,
See,
really
Alicization only just got to YouTube, and so, I don't know, maybe we'll see if that new season is on, or not YouTube, but Netflix. Maybe we'll see if that new season is on Hulu. Because I want to see that, because Sword Art Online has always been one of my favorite animes. I think it's my second...
It's one of the anime I watched, too, so...
Yeah. It's very interesting, too, because it's got very mixed reviews.
It really does.
It's usually people super love it and it's their favorite thing in the world, or people just hate it. And it's it's one thing if some people think it's okay and the rest of people hate it, or a lot of people like it and some people think it's okay. It's one thing whenever a show or movie has lots of people like it or lots of people hate it.
Sword Art Online is the one community that if you wanted to look at it and see, okay, who just kind of likes it, who just kind of doesn't, no, you're gonna find the most divided community ever, and it's freaking funny and also kind of sad at the same time.
You're gonna find 3-star reviews on the show, and then you're gonna look at the review percentages, and it's gonna be like 50% 5-star, 50% 1-star.
Exactly. That's it. That's exactly it.
I think something that's super interesting that happens too. I really love when this happens with stuff, but when the critics think it's bad and then the audience thinks it's good. I think that's so great.
That was freaking The Last of Us Part 2, except it was the other way around. Critics thought it was good, audience thought it was bad.
I wonder if some critics though say it's good just to like hype people up sometimes. I wonder how much critics will just say that.
The funny thing is, Excel World takes place in the same world that Sword Art Online does.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes place several years in the future, and people enjoy that a lot more.
Huh.
And it's like, so you liked this thing, which takes place several years to the future after Sword Art Online, but you don't like Sword Art Online. Which still tells you the story of how the technology for Excel World even came to exist. Congratulations!
Pretty much. Well, I mean, it's not just about like, you know, I'm pretty sure when people heard that was gonna be a thing, and they probably hated it at first, and then like Sword Art Online, and then you know it's a good show, because frankly, it doesn't matter if it's a prequel or a sequel; it can be good or bad. You know that doesn't matter. You know, X-Men, when the X-Men movies came out, yeah, like when the X-Men movies came out, X-Men 1 was great. People hated X-Men 2. People kind of liked X-Men 3. And then, you know, the prequels came out, and everybody really loved the first prequel. And then we don't talk about the other ones. And people, and people did not like X-Men Origins Wolverine. People loved the Wolverine, and they loved Logan. And to be fair, the only reason that X-Men Origins Wolverine was bad was because there was a writer's strike. And so...
Oh, well, that explains it.
Yeah. And that's why the bad Deadpool happened, if you guys get PTSD from that.
I find it funny that in Deadpool 2, and the like,
he kills him. He kills him.
He just
kill him.
Amazing.
Ending credits of Deadpool is great because that whole movie was. I did not like Deadpool 2 when I saw it in theaters, and then I rewatched it once at home on like for free on something, and I started like paying attention to it more, and I realized, it's not a unfunny movie, just a lot of the jokes are inside jokes, so you gotta think about them, or you gotta see the first movie to get them. Yeah. Because like or you gotta pay attention a little bit, because there's one point where he signs a cereal box for a kid, and then he sets the cereal box down, and it's not signed Deadpool, it's signed Ryan Reynolds. But it like flashes the cereal box, so you gotta like pause it to see that. But you're not gonna like half the audience won't see that joke if you just like flash away from the cereal box super quickly. And so yeah, I think my favorite joke of that.
The whole movie basically becomes obsolete because he goes back and fixes the one mistake that causes the whole movie to happen.
Yeah, he does, but he's funny while he does it. We're gonna name our kid Cher, he yells as he goes through time to fix something else. Because what else does he do? He goes back and there's he kills himself. You know, the X-Men Origins Wolverine version of himself. And then he goes, and then there's a little clip of Ryan Reynolds going perfect. And then what happens is
Oh yeah, he kills him.
He kills him. Yeah, because he says perfect, and he like straightens up a script, and the script paper says Green Lantern, and so he kills Ryan Reynolds, and then he says "You're welcome, Canada," and walks away. Yeah. And then the other notable thing he does is he travels back in time, and he's in this baby nursery, and he goes, "Hey there, buddy, and he's like, "Okay, all right, you can do this. You can do this." Save the whole world, and then it shows a picture of the baby's crib, and it says A. Hitler. And so he wants to kill baby Hitler. And he's like, you know what? You're kind of cute, but I can't do this. I'm going to grab my friend Cable. He's really good about killing kids. So I love the whole end credit scene of that movie because it's such a funny end credit scene. Yeah. Alright, and it's been an hour. We did it again. And I think we got more average viewers than we have on any other. We hit 6 average viewers. I think that's a record, so I'm going to write that down on this little piece of paper.
I am depressed. I am depressed.
We've got
Crackhead
6ers.
has not streamed in forever, and he got the most views out of all of us.
You know what? To be fair,
That's
the first
bad.
stream, we probably didn't get that much because, it was the first stream. The second stream, we probably didn't get that much because, Art was the one streaming it, and she's a woman, so like whatever. Yeah.
I thought,
yeah.
I'm a girl.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch my streams.
Yeah, maybe he had a dick.
He's just gonna fake dick from now on.
There's a strap on during stream.
That's
Yeah.
how I get popular, guys.
I'm gonna switch over to one of the other websites to stream on.
I think that's a good note to end this on.
Somebody clip it and name the clip Art's gonna be a character.
I need to animate that.
That'll be shown on the next stream if you get animated before I stream next.
Bruh, I'm not that quick at animation.
I'm pretty sure my channel saves VOD, so you can just go back to the VOD, just like, what point of the VOD is this? It's
like 1 hour, 6 minutes.
It's gonna be like, it's gonna be something like that. Crap, where is it on this format?
Hopefully you enjoyed that one.
I'm trying to clip
Oh
it.
my gosh.
God.
It just went shoo. Yeah.
Next podcast will be on my channel, twitch.tv/DW's
No, it won't.
I'm gonna host again.
Oh crap, that's right. I'll fix it later on. I don't know what point in stream we're at. It's gonna be some point after the 1 hour mark, so just look for the outro. It'll be near the outro.
Near the outro, it is the outro.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to log back in because I changed my passwords.
Fair enough.
Tune in next week to see Art with the strap on.
Tune in next week to see that as he's starting soon.
Guys, I don't think that I want this to be how I get popular.
How to get removed from Twitch 30 seconds after starting stream.
Honestly.
If you
That's great.
That, we'll just upload that to YouTube and just no context.
I would love to upload that to YouTube with no context. That'd be great.
Oh, heck yeah.
Just upload it on a brand new channel, see how long it lasts.
Just like when it says name video, just hit a space and then just post it so there's nothing that shows up at the title.
I don't think that even is something you can do. You just have to actually put a period.
Okay, just put untitled video then, and then just hit upload. Or put...
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We won't get in any trouble for that.
Oh, guys, my teacher just graded my semester project where I had to read a book, but I definitely didn't read a book, and I cheated on it, so let's see if I got a good grade on it.
Well, that's admitted on stream. Nice.
Yeah, like he's gonna watch it. Semester project. I actually did it on The Hobbit. That's why I wanted to talk about The Hobbit today. Gave me a 500 out of 500. I haven't read that book in 7 years. I read that crap back in like early middle school. He gave me all 500 out of 500 points for that one. That was a semester project and I did absolutely nothing for it. Yes. Alright, that's the outro. See you guys later. We're gonna end it there after I talk about my stream project. Bye!
Bye.